Yeah, it's a tough place to go. And the back of last season when they beat us twice, we wanted to go up there with a point to prove. Um, the conditions didn't make it for pretty rugby to be played, but I thought we dug in. I think the first 50 minutes we played really well. We played in the right parts of the pitch. We were putting pressure on them, and then kind of the last 30, we kind of let them come back into the game through probably our discipline, a few drop balls, which gave them a bit of access into our half. But the takeaways from the game, look, we adapted well. We played in those tough conditions. I thought our kicking game was really good. I thought the line out worked really well, and they gave us front foot ball. And then our nines had a really good day kicking. So overall, it's a tough place to go. The conditions made it even tougher, but we stuck in there and we got the result we wanted.
It's been an incremental rise in performance over the first three games. So slow start against Zebre, massive improvement against Benetton, real professional ground out a win against Ulster. How do you feel the form of the team is incrementally improving throughout the start of the season?
Yeah, I suppose it can be tough when players are coming in every week and they're getting their first game, and just trying new combinations as well. It all plays a part. But yeah, I think the main thing is that we're getting better each week. That comes off the back of reviewing the game and seeing where we need to improve, and then going out and training and trying to get better at that. So that's what we're trying to do week to week is keep improving on our performances. So I think we're going in the right direction. We just need to keep on building on performance, and taking it game by game, really.
And just last one for me, for you personally, it's been a really good start to the season. You're playing really good rugby. Are you confident that you continue going the way you're going, you'll put your hand up and hopefully be included in the Ultimate International squad?
Yeah, look, it would be great to be involved in that. For me, just kind of focusing on, taking it game by game and doing anything I can to put my hand up. Kind of probably just focusing on doing the basics really well, and then hopefully big moments come off the back of that. But yeah, look, I'm happy the way the season started, but I know for myself I need to keep on improving and keep kicking on. So it's a challenge that I'm looking forward to.
Thanks a million. Good luck this week.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hi Jordan, Ashling here from Off the Ball. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Leo spoke after the game just about Leinster having to show more of a rootless streak when closing out games. Do you feel that this is an area within the team that you might struggle with, or it's something that you need to work on?
Yeah, it is probably something we need to work on. I think probably the last 30, last 20 minutes of the game, that's when it's really crucial. And in the past, we've played poorly in the last 30 minutes of a game, so it is an area that we're aware of and where we need to get better. Especially in the bigger games when those are the big moments that you need to be winning. So it's something we have talked about, but look, we'll be looking to improve it. And it comes down to probably just the basics. Getting our set piece right, playing in the right parts of the field, and I suppose keeping whoever we're playing at an arm's length.
So the Sharks, they've had back-to-back wins, beating the Dragons by a point very late on in their game on Saturday. So they're going to be coming to the RDS hoping to continue that momentum.
Yeah, definitely. They had a great win against the Dragons last weekend. And look, they're playing serious rugby at the moment. They've got some serious athletic ability in their backline and their pack. So it makes for pretty exciting rugby. But it's definitely a challenge that we're looking forward to this Saturday in the RDS. So yeah, it's a challenge that we're looking forward to.
That's great. Thanks a million.
Thank you.
Hi Jordan, it's Tony here in RTE.
Hi Tony, how are you?
Good now. You're coming up against a familiar face this weekend, of course, and Noel McNamara. He's a tag coach at the Sharks, so could be passing on some insider information there. Makes them a bit more dangerous, do you think?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, obviously Noel was in Leinster for a number of years, so he'll know us pretty well, how we like to play, how we like to attack and defend. So I'm sure he's filling in all the Sharks lads on what we like to do. So, you know, it only adds to the challenge. But yeah, this week I suppose we're kind of just focusing on ourselves, seeing where we can get better at the Ulster game and trying to implement that this Saturday. But like I said, we're looking forward to it. We know it's going to be a tough game, but you know, we're just looking forward to it.
You must have been pleased with the defensive side of things against Ulster. I mean, you know, they came into the game after scoring 12 tries in the first 2 games, but you kept them to 1. You popped up, I remember, with a big turnover at one stage as well.
Yeah, it's definitely something we pride ourselves on, is our defence. You know, getting off the line and making big hits. So I thought a lot of lads put their hands up last weekend. It's an area we've kind of probably shone a light on through the pre-season and where we want to get better at. So yeah, it's pleasing that you know, we had a good defensive performance, but I think this week in particular, seeing the players that the Sharks have and how dangerous they are and how quick they are, we're going to have to be on red alert anytime anyone's on the ball. So especially their back 3 players. You know, last time we played them, they had great games against us, and you know, we didn't, I suppose, deal with them the way we wanted to. But yeah, this weekend it's going to be a tough game, but one we're looking forward to.
How is Charlie Natai settling in, Jordan? I mean, that was a huge vital tackle he made there at the weekend against Ulster.
Yeah, he's fitted in really well. And look, he's a great player. You can see how hard he worked to cover that tackle and knock the ball, so they got a knock on. So that was a huge moment that he stepped up. He also had a few great hits in the game. So he's fit in really well. Everyone really likes him around the club. He brings a great energy on and off the pitch. So yeah, we're lucky to have him.
Thanks very much for your time, Jordan. All the best Saturday.
Thank you. Cheers.
Hi Jordan, Jerry Corey from the line out. Can you hear me?
I can indeed. How are you?
Yeah, Grant. I'm just wondering what, you know, we're only in round 3 of the United Rugby Championship, but already it's interesting because if you look at the top 6 positions, the 3 South African teams are there, including your opponents this weekend, the Sharks. So do you feel it's a tighter competition this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone's playing really good rugby at the moment. And you know, those South African teams, they're big, they're physical, they back themselves in their defence, they bring a lot of line speed, and it's tough to play against. Your attack's really got to be on it when you've lads flying off the line trying to whack you. So yeah, I think they've definitely made everyone up their games, you know, with the way they're playing at the moment. Even, you know, they've got some serious kickers on their teams, and they like to try find those corners and put you on the back foot. So yeah, look, everyone's playing really good rugby. It's going to be a tough league all year, but yeah, look, it's just another opportunity to challenge yourself and get better, I suppose, as well.
And just looking at Friday night's game, is you know, I suppose Leinster were on top for an hour of the game or whatever. And coming into last quarter or whatever, Ulster put on that pressure. How important was it for Leinster to hold them out over the last movements?
Yeah, it was massive, obviously, to get the win and to hold them out. You know how dangerous Ulster can be, especially when they get their maul going. It's very hard to stop, and they used that a few times against us. So yeah, it was a huge team effort to hold them out, especially in those tough conditions. So yeah, we were just happy with the win.
After the game, the weekend, Leo was speaking and he said, look, my focus is immediately on the Sharks, because the last time we were beaten at home was by a South African team. How much of an appreciation do you have for how difficult the South African sides are going to be in the competition this year, and where do you feel that the Sharks will be able to test you this week?
Yeah, got the utmost respect for all the South African teams. You can see they're all riding high in the league. They've all started very strongly. I think they'll get stronger and stronger as well. You know, last year was the first time for them to be involved, so I'm sure they've learnt lessons along the way with regards to the travel, etc. So they're all going to be a force to be reckoned with. So whether they can test us, our maul defence wasn't as good as it has been last week. So we're going to have to tidy that area up. And traditionally they're very strong in set piece anyway. So, again, scrum, line out, they're very competitive. So it's very much going to be big ask of us, up front. So we're going to have to, improve a little bit on the game last Friday night against Ulster. We were good in some facets, not in others. We were genuinely happy with the first half. We just fell away a little bit second half. So there's plenty to work on, but plenty to give us enough confidence to go into the game as well.
Just one last one for me. Jason Jenkins seems to have really slotted in well since coming this season. What sort of an extra dimension does he bring to the pack?
Well, he's got a different mentality, being a South African. He enjoys scrummaging. He enjoys hitting things. That's evident in his play. And all the South Africans are, they bring a level of physicality to the game. Very power-based, running harder on the corner. But Jason, in fairness to him, it's very hard when you're not playing regularly to build up your confidence, etc. And he's probably been unlucky with injuries over the years. But fortunately, he's kept a clean bill of health since joining us. I know the medical team, worked hard with him initially, so I think he's going to get better and better. The more minutes he gets under his belt, I think he's going to keep on growing, and he's definitely struck up a partnership with Mike Alatoa in front of him in the scrum and set piece time as well. So, like I say, he's putting himself about a bit as well around the park, which is great.
Thanks a million, Robin. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Hi Robin, Aisling here from Off the Ball. How are you?
Hi there, yeah, very good, thanks.
Good. Do you think that there was maybe a main area that you came away from that Ulster game thinking that you probably need to spend more time on or improve?
Yeah, it's probably the more defence, like I said. We didn't get it right. Probably we looked at the last couple of weeks where we've gone Friday to Friday games, where really you're not able to sort of upskill yourself in certain areas. You're just organising, tinkering here and there. We've got a full week ahead of us this week, so it gives us a little bit more scope to work on certain areas. But it was definitely a good workout. You're up against first-class team in Ulster, playing at home in those conditions as well. So I think they mauled every single line out. So we just got caught out on a couple of occasions. So we need to shore that up because I think the Sharks will come at us again in those areas.
We just spoke with Jordan Larmour there, and I just said to him about having a rootless streak when closing out games, that's what Leo Cullen had said after the game, that you need to have more of that. Is that something that you've talked to the team about, or is it something that you've discussed?
Yeah, it is definitely. And there were certain times in the game where we needed to close it off. On Friday night, we went from having a 5-metre line out on Ulster's line, and before you turn around, they're on our line. So there's certain decisions that we've looked at during the course of the game, especially the last sort of 20 minutes of that match as well, that we could have steered away from certain areas that we put ourselves under pressure without need to really. But to come away from Ulster with a victory, in those conditions as well, that was, first and foremost, that's what we needed to do, and we did that. So as much as we could be disappointed with certain aspects of the game, I think overall it was just a case of, getting in there, getting the win and getting out. because the weather did have a part to play in that as well.
Thanks, Robin. Best of luck at the weekend.
Thank you very much.
How you doing, Robin? Tony here in RTE.
Hi there.
You're talking about maul defence and how you're looking at that as an area of improvement, but how happy have you been with the attacking maul and your line-out? It's becoming a real weapon for you.
Yeah, like I said, there's certain aspects that we've been happy with. Again, it's the high standards that the boys are setting themselves, so you're never happy unless you win 100% of your own line out, and you go forward or you win a penalty or score a try every maul. So listen, when you come up against a good team like Ulster, who pride themselves on those areas as well, you've got to sort of be realistic in the way that you measure your performance. So there was plenty of good stuff there. I thought our intent from a scrummaging point of view early on in the game was good. Give us a great platform to launch from, put them under pressure as well. So yeah, really happy with certain aspects, like I said. So we just need to tighten up on one or two other areas.
Is a game like that almost the perfect preparation for meeting a South African side, going in terms of scrummaging and line out?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, listen, the pitch stood up as well, so it was great, compared to the pitch last season. So, Fedu's the groundsman, he deserves plaudits for that as well. But it'll be the same again on Saturday. I know their approach to the game from a South African point of view, scrum first and foremost, and then they're going to test you out up front with the mauls. And in fairness, they've got a few variations in their delivery off line-out as well. They've got a big threat in the centre, attacking the seam. So yeah, we're going to have to be at our best and shore up some of those deficiencies that we saw there last Friday night.
Last one for me is just, I don't know if you've seen it, there's been some experimental laws being trialled in Australia in the coming weeks where it's going to be 30 seconds packed down a scrum once the mark is set, free kick to a feeding team with the scrum of just 2 resets. I'm just wondering, do you think, would that make an impact, or do you think the length of matches is a problem at the moment?
I think those small little steps, they're all positive, because you want to keep ball in play time as high as you can. Make it an attractive sport for people to watch. So anything with regards to speeding the game up and increasing the ball in play, I think it can only be good.
Thanks very much, Robin. Go well at the weekend.
Cheers, thank you.
Hi, Robin. Jerry Corey here, the line-out.
Hi, Jerry.
Just wondering how as a former player, Sean O'Brien has blended into the coaching setup, and how you generally feel he's doing.
Yeah, very well. I mean, he's very highly thought of here in Leinster, both as a player and a person. So, people tend to listen when he speaks, and I think he's obviously learning the ropes from a coaching point of view. But he's in touch with the game, having recently retired himself. I know he's still looking to play as well, but he's great voice. He's very energetic, obviously. Speaks his mind well, and the players react to him. So yeah, it's great.
And then, Robin, as a former hooker yourself, I think I'm correct in saying that. How do you think Dan Sheehan's strike rate is at the moment? He's nearly worth a try a game the way he's playing.
Yeah, we're very blessed to have someone like Dan in our ranks. He's a threat with ball in hand. He got a vital turnover for us at the end of the game against Ulster as well. So, yeah, listen, his set piece is going well at the moment as well. So I'm really chuffed for him. Very lucky. He's a very, very strong player, good all-rounder, and he's definitely a player that you can play towards his strengths as a hooker. With that threat of ball in hand, around the tail of the line out, etc. As we've seen with him as well. So You've got to grasp the opportunity when it comes along your way, and Dan's certainly done that. You know, he's on the back of a great summer with Ireland, and you know, he's continued in the same form. So, you know, long may it last.
And finally, for me, Robin, just in relation to the match last Friday, how important was it for to see the pack play well and do a lot of score tries early on, and then finally keep out the Leinster attack later on, or the Ulster attack later on?
Yeah, you know, not being disrespectful to the previous two games. This was the bigger challenge that we faced, really. You know, you're coming up against the good Ulster team playing home on a Friday night in front of a full house. You're playing against your mates that you created a bit of history with in the summer. So there's a lot of things going ahead on Friday surrounding the game. But I felt the way we approached the game, our intent right from the word go, you know, that first 40 minutes, you know, was pretty flawless. And then, you know, to do enough to just hold them out. You always knew that Ulster were going to come back into it at some stage. But, you know, we managed to repel them on a couple of occasions. And like I said, we've got to look at ourselves as well. We didn't help ourselves with certain things that we did towards the end of that match. But, no, again, you know, to come away with a victory from Ulster, I think we've just got to take it, you know.